Buenavidos from Barcelona, Spain, as we visit week 2 here at the Martin Sports Car Club iRacing League. I'd like to introduce my co-host Lexi. ¿Cómo está, Lexi? Oh my goodness, we practiced this for half an hour. You're supposed to say... Perfecto, gracias. All right, so here we are this week in the same LMP2 class car, the Dallara P217, and various GT3 cars as they go ahead and grid up for this week. And we are running at the Circuit de Barcelona, where we are actually running the historic circuit this week. So we've taken out some of the painful corners that are usually reserved for some of the MotoGP riders. If you see, they're off to the left of the screen, the real tight chicane section going through there. We've taken that out just because of the type of cars and the amount of traffic that we'll be having here. So we wanted guys to race and not wreck. So we should have an exciting race today as we are moving forward. So we'll go over the grid here real quickly. So Bradley Alvis, keeping up from last week, is in pole position with a 129.9, breaking that 130 mark, which is great. Followed by Andrew, Jesse, Zane Plumley, starting off the ZP Motorsports team. Next up is Leland and Junie, also in ZPM cars. And then Michael Banana Man, Bob Butcher, and Chris Wells in the start. Well, I forgot how to move this down. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, well, Justin Hall, as you see at the bottom, is in the start for the GT3 cars. I'm sorry, I should have practiced that. I know I got it last week. My apologies. I will try to work on it again. Trying to see if I can get it going on. There we go. All right, Justin Hall on pole position for the GT3s, closely followed behind by Daniel Curio, Bjorn, Eric, Dean in 5th, John Tremblay, one of our new drivers this year, in 6th, Rob Neller from Icon Sim Sports, not TNCR, we'll get that fixed for next week. Matt Jackson starting off in his second race ever with the Martin Sports Car Club iRacing League, and followed by JG and Nicholas Vincent. All right, so we are moving on. I see the cars starting, so let's get into a little bit closer action. There we go, with Bradley taking pole position and waiting as they go around on a short parade lap this time. Going through, and it's usually up to the leader, and there he goes. He's not waiting for the green flag. He has that option to go ahead and start when he is ready to start, and he does get a big jump on the field over Jesse Olsen and also Andrew. So you see the track's kind of dirty, picking up some slack. So there are the ZPM guys slotted in there on 4th, 5th, and 6th. Coming down the first corner after that long straight. Oh, a little bit of slide on the back end from Bradley. These cars, these LMP2 cars, the Dallaras, are really tricky these first couple opening laps. Their tires are really not up to temperature yet, and the chassis and suspensions are so stiff. There's a lot of movement in those cars. So there's Jimmy Thompson getting a lot of pressure onto Zane Plumley in the back as they go around some corners. Oh, another front end slide, and he catches that one as well. Bradley wants to break out and get out of this section and get away from these guys. Oh no, a big spin from Bradley, and no, Zane Plumley hits him, and then Bob, oh, there goes Bob hitting Zane Plumley as well. So it looks like everyone is on their other side. No one looks like a turtle. Oh, Lexi, what do you think of that one?
Okay, people, get your heads in the game, and how about donut party at the end of the race?
Yes, no donut party in the beginning of the race.
No.
Oh, nope, not at all. So let's move over to, let's see, the GT class, the GT3 class. There we go. So there's our leader. Oh, how do you like that car? Well, we're not on video, so you're going to have to explain how your face looks when you're looking at that car. So that is Justin Hall from the Shut Up and Drive It team, obviously, with the great car. Oh, there's Bradley trying to get back to the pits. Let's see if we can get a fast repair going. And he says he takes out a couple cones. So in the autocross world, that was 6 seconds, Bradley. Sorry, but you earned that one. But Justin has definitely just checked out in second place. Looks like Daniel is back there in the Audi R8 ZPM Liberty car. is there as well. So there's a big old train moving in the back. So there's Eric, the other Shut Up and Drive It, getting a lot of pressure. Looks like from Dean right behind him. Oh, almost took out the back end of his bumper going through the first couple sections of the corners. So I get some criticism last year that I didn't call corners by either numbers or names. So I went and printed out the whole season worth of tracks worth of names just so I can reference them every once in a while. So here they are going around Repsol corner. Yay for us. Give me 5. Okay. All right, what do you got, Lexi? Nothing yet?
Well,
Actually?
Actually, for the beginning of the race, I give points. Get ready for minds to be blown.
Really?
500 and 1,000 points.
Wait, that is way too much. I don't think calculators can go even that high.
I don't know, I'm
Yeah.
just giving them good points. Should I go down the leaderboard?
All right, so real quick going into LMP2, looks like Andrew is taking over the lead after that first cross, but Jesse Olsen throwing down a 131.2, the fastest lap so far, I think. So we got slowed up in that wreck with Bradley and Zane, and I can't remember who else was in there, but Andrew is out fast. Andrew, new driver to us this year. Definitely a fast driver. I know last week did not win the race, but he did throw down the fastest lap of the race. So he does have potential to take home a win, and we'll keep an eye on him and see how we go. So as the GT3 cars go through, looking like 130, 143s, 144s, Dean just overtaken Eric through there. So let's go ahead and put the camera on automatic and let's see what we can do. So JG Pasrak, Mark from Grassroots Motorsports, moving up some spots. Actually just made up 2 spots on John and Rob in the GT3 class. So, all right, so going down the leaderboard, Lexi, you wanted to say something.
I want to go down the leaderboard.
Go down that leaderboard.
First place, Andrew. Second, Leland. Third, Jesse. Fourth, Junie. Fifth, Banana Man. Sixth, Justin. Seventh, Daniel. 8, Dean. 9, Derek. 10, Lauren. 12, Rob. 13, John. 14, Bradley. 15, new guy. 16, Zane. Plumley. And 17, Nicholas. 18, Bob. And 19, Crispy Wells.
Yeah, Chris you see down at the bottom was having a lot of connectivity issues this week for some reason, not quite sure. So he's having a hard time. He's trying to jump back in, see if he can at least join us for a few laps. And Bob, after that wreck, had some issues with his car. So he looks like he might be trying to get back to the pits, or he's out completely. So definitely keep an eye on that one. All right, so there goes John and Dean with a great race here. Looks like a 4-way battle for second place within the GT3 cars. Just a freight train coming through there. So it was the second place, so Daniel, let's see if we can grab him. There we go. So in second place. Thanks again, Daniel, for running that ZPM livery. Appreciate it. And getting a lot of pressure from Dean, who's usually one of our resident fast kids. And I know I say it every week, but I say kids. He's 13 years old, is somewhat of a professional go-kart racer. You can catch him on YouTube. I think it's under Rocket Ship is his nickname. If not, check him out also on Facebook. He does have a page there as well. So what are you looking at me for like that? What do you got to say?
How about we check the weather? Because it's getting a little dark. How is that possible?
Well, it could be a little bit cloudy, but I guess you do want to check the rates info?
Yeah.
All right, so we'll take a little break here real quick from the action in the background, talk about the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. So it's just under 3 miles. It's 75 degrees, a great day in Spain. Not really high on the altitude sea level, but today the temperature is
78 degrees.
With how much humidity?
55, partly cloudy, and 4 miles per hour.
That's right. Nice job. All right, so where we got this up there, please check out martinsportscarclub.org. You can check out some information about race results and becoming a member of the Martin Sports Car Club and joining our league. So that'd be great. So we're also sponsored by Icon Sim Sports, who is sponsoring the LMP2 class, and the race is presented by Zane, Plumley Motorsports, and also partner with Shove Up and Drive It, who is our official streaming partner of the entire series. So we do appreciate that. So back to the race action. Just in time to catch Andrew throwing down a 130 flat. He is throwing down the gauntlet, so I don't see anybody else coming through, but we have Leland Giddens right on the back of Jesse Olsen. So let's check into that. Get the LMP2 class cars. Let's get a bit closer action here. Here we go. So Leland putting some pressure onto Jesse to get that second place away from him. This is going to be a good, tough battle. Leland takes a little bit wider arc, has a little bit of slip in the front tires. Maybe he's pushing a little too bit hard, or he's heated up his front tires maybe a bit too much. But Jesse looking smooth as always, definitely under control with his LMP2 car, wherever he drives. Always blatantly fast. So, whoa, right there, just narrowly missed that laying down their banana peel. These cars are actually so low that when you do run over those yellow curbs, some people call them, sleeping policemen, some people call them sausages, but these cars are so low that they will actually teeter-totter or porpoise on them and get stuck, and you'll be sitting in the air without any of your wheels on the ground.
The lights was on and now it's bright.
Well, it was the clouds went away.
So those were the clouds?
Yep. All right, so we got, let's check back into the GT3 class. There we go. Still have some close action up here as well, as Dean got by Daniel. But oh, look at the two Shut Up and Drive It drivers right behind them with Eric and Bjorn. Bjorn I tell you what, he was looking really good in practice. Don't know if he really got the qualifying position that he wanted, but he did put in a ton of time working on his setup this week. So hopefully that is paying off. But he is riding that back bumper of Daniel in that BMW M4 prototype GT3. Yes.
How about I choose a person to stay with for about 10 minutes or 20?
How about a cockpit view? We'll take a lap around the track with somebody. So pick a name from the list and we'll ride with them for a lap. How about that?
Okay. Let's check on... Wow, this is a tough decision. That one's great. Okay. Let's try our famous slippery banana man.
All right. Let's see. Banana Man's number
4.
That's the plate. Oh, there he is. All right, and let's jump in with him just in time to get around some of the back sections. So here's the back straight after he just went through Campsar Corner, which is an uphill right-hander that kind of floats away a little bit. This is part of the historic track. Take a little bit wider turn through here, so not so much chopped off like some of the other guys do going through Worth. So onto the back little short shoot section of the Ripple car, back through this last corner here. So a lot of guys are jumping that curb right across. Short little shoot as they come through New Holland onto the front straight. And if you get this right, which you really want to, because you want to get all the power down as much as you can just to get the drive through the gears and all the way through. So here it is. There's your start-finish line. I do like the fact that iRacing spends a lot of time programming the timing tower that just went by that actually has the numbers of the classes and the people that are going by. So here we are into Elf Corner, which is the first set of S's after a hard braking zone coming through, and through Renault Corner, which gets very slippery on the entrance. So a lot of guys are very patient corner, almost like when you're autocrossing through one of the wagon wheels. So coming through the Repsol, this is a tighter corner coming through in a short shoot down to a crazy corner seat, which is where we had the accident on the first lap earlier. So, a little bit wide there. He does recover, keeps it straight, drops on gear, and goes forward back into Worth, which is a very fun corner. Uphill, ride that curb just like that. Get on the gas. Right there. Oh, no.
Oh, someone's off.
Nice job, Michael, by not tracking out and getting into that car. So nicely done. So that is about a lap, maybe not in the order as far as it goes. But looking at the leaderboard there, Andrew must have had a little problem with some traffic with a 133, and Jesse rocks in. Oh no, they are at each other. We got to go check the leaderboard with what is going on. So where are one of those guys? There we go, and Jesse Olsen into the lead with the battle from Andrew. Sorry I missed the pass on that one. It was just need to get an easier system for me able to switch cars back and forth. Leland still in third, and Banana Man, who we just rode with, in fourth, about 30 seconds back. So these guys that are on the podium right tight to each other right there are the ones battling out to see who's going to take home the win. Take it ahead, Lexi.
How about you, Lex, and I do the talking commentary?
Go for it.
Here comes tightly wrapped up Jesse Olsen with Andrew. Jack Dark. And they're being tied tightly up by a tight knot. Who is going to win this tightly race? Who's going to undo the tight knot?
Did you start drama class this week? No. Because it's just so exciting!
Oh, it's is that a he? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He is back in the race. Off the sand and on the tracks, ready to win this race.
Yep, definitely out front is where Jesse likes to be. No doubt. So these guys still covered by less than a second between the three of them, which is crazy. But I know Jesse's probably got his head down. There goes John Tremblay past Rob Neller in the GTE class. So Daniel and Dean throwing down almost exact time. Daniel's actually putting down a faster time than Dean. So let's go check that one out. These guys pretty much are riding around in a line. So let's see, Dean's number. There we go. Daniel in the R8 chasing him. Much tighter line in that Audi. Now they're both are, actually both of these cars are actually built by Audi, which is funny, part of the Volkswagen group in the real life. So the Lamborghini is owned by Volkswagen Group and shares a lot of the parts, especially in the engine, with the Audi R8, which is behind it. So just the body and the outside and the interiors, but a lot of the hardware that goes into the Lamborghini actually comes from a lot of the Volkswagen Group as well. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of people writing on the chat about how that was probably wrong or awful or sacrilegious to do that, but sorry, but that's just the truth and that's just the way it is. So let's get a little bit of ride with all these camera views. I don't know. There we go. Oh, making up some time with the rig. Oh, a little bit of front end slip from Dean gives the chance. Oh, Andrew threw down a 129.8, so besting Jesse's 129.9. These guys are throwing it down, and of course Leland only a 10th back from that. They are not letting go. Absolutely nuts. Need like 9 cameras all over this place to catch all this action.
Three people tied together, going to compete. Who is going to win the race?
Yep. One thing of note I want to talk about real quick is 5th place Bradley and 6th place Zane, who have made their way back up from the first lap crash. They did have to go to the pits and get a fast repair. So there's a good look right there. The ZP Motorsports sponsored Dallara that is driven by Leland Giddens. Keeping it nice and clean. You definitely wants up there and moved up 2 spots from where he officially started. So our biggest mover, what's the biggest number over here?
The biggest number is
Pastor Jack, yep.
Pastor Jack.
Yep, he is our biggest mover, making up 5 spots from his grid position. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if he will actually finish out as the biggest mover. All right, back through a lot of 13s in this race. Chris Wells is 13, Daniel is 0-13, Jackson is 113. So for such an unlucky number, a lot of people really like to have that thing. And it's a little interesting between Daniel, who's running ZPM livery on the 0-13, and Matt Jackson also running ZPM livery, and the same car, both in the R8s, are just one number apart. So we have to make sure we watch the bottom, how everything goes, so we don't get those two guys mixed up. So speaking of Matt Jackson, give him a little shout out. There he is. Oh, it looks like he had a little bit of curb rash. Don't know if he got tangled up with somebody. Looks like his guys in the digital workshop will have to be banging that front corner panel out just a little bit. Hopefully, I don't think it should be slowing him down too much. Look like his arrow's looking pretty good still. So he's still trucking along in 16th place. And what's nice about the leaderboard that we have this week is SDK Timing, who we use for our broadcast, actually did put in the little logos for the Lamborghini this week. So that's a new thing for them. So now you know it's becoming a very popular car. So a little bit spread out. Some BMWs, some Audis, some Lamborghinis, and no Ford GTs, unfortunately, for this one. Or the Mercedes AMGs are not there, and no Ferrari this week. So interesting choices. So some of the stronger cars are picking up. So Jesse Olsen with the 130.5, and again Andrew with the quicker lap time, a 130.3, and they're less than a half a second apart. There they go. Always like this shot. Gives you the real sense of speed of having to go through the corners. There's Andrew chasing Jesse for the lead. Whoa, a little bit of rear tire slip, getting on the gas a little too much, a little too hard there. Rear tire slip, but he collected himself very quickly, running just a little bit of tire off the grass, up and over the curb as they come in through that crazy corner of Campsite. Right through there. Oh, a little bit wider for Andrew. Oh, just keeps it on track as he goes right over the rumble strip. And Leland Giddens losing a little touch space with these guys back at 3 seconds behind. So hopefully he didn't have an issue. Maybe it was just some traffic that slowed him up too. All right, so let's go through here, and there we go. Checking in on Bradley, who is chasing down Banana Man, now a half a second back to get 4th spot between those guys. Man, this is even though it's a 3-mile track, just under 3 miles, a lot of twists and turns, a couple tight areas, but still a lot of room to race, which is nice with multi-class racing, which is one of the reasons why we did pick this track, so we can still race between the classes and race with each other without getting too bound up or slowed up, you know, trying to make the passes. So there goes Banana Man and Bradley. Looks like Bradley's taking his time. Love those purple wheels, man. That's great. And oh no, who's off? Was that Dean? I think that was Dean. It was a little, yep, he is dropping down the leaderboard. Dean goes off into the kitty litter for a little bit, so he did collect it and get back on the track, but did lose quite a few spaces, like 2 or 3 spots. So I'm sure he'll come back into the fight, no doubt. Oh, and then there's Banana Man with his nice, clean yellow and green car. That back end looks a little ripe. What do you think, Lexi? Yep, like a green banana?
Yeah, that would be kind of weird, but okay. Anyway, 2 people are out. Chris will not be joining us.
Yep.
And sadly, Bob Bleacher will not be joining us.
Bob Bleacher's out again.
Dad, why would you say that? He's such a good racer.
Because it's so fun to say Bob Bleacher.
You are totally right. Let me try.
Try it.
Bob Bleacher.
See? Isn't
and
that awesome?
he's so much fun. We should do this all the time.
All right, moving down the board. So here is Bjorn. Let's see. Bjorn's running in 3rd place in class in GTE. He does have Dean right on his tail again. But moving on. So Rob Neller moving into pit lane. Must have a problem with his car. Hopefully he's just, I know pit services, all the races that we have this year, in this season with this league, they decrease the fuel amount in order to change the fact that everyone has to do a pit stop. Yes.
10 laps to go.
Ooh, that's right. Wow, this race is going so fast.
Well, actually 26.
Well, because you have to finish the last
Yeah.
one. Correct, I know. All right, so these guys are looking tight. Whoa, so there goes Dean on the inside. It's going to be a braking duel down to that tight left-hander. And it looks like Bjorn gave him some room. You know, great sportsmanship. You didn't want to take himself out, which is a good thing, so that way he lives to fight another day. And he'll just stay tight right in the back of that Lamborghini and see if he can't use some of the drafts, especially since they're coming up to the start-finish straight. And if he gets a good drive off of this one here, which it looks like he did, and right through there, back on the gas, swings it way out there, grabs the draft, and see what happens on this long straight. All right, there's Junie in 7th place. He had a couple offs, still rolling in the 130s though, which is good. All right, JG throwing out a 144.999. So he is up there with giving Eric, trying to close the gap on him, to take away 5th place. All right, so as we get to some lap traffic now, wow, look at that. All sorts of cars in there. GT3s and LMP2s getting through, and what's really nice, outside of that first lap, we really haven't had a lot of car-to-car contact incidents, or at least we didn't catch it so much on the camera, but I know the race was actually last night, and this is a replay that we're doing for the upload, and it really worked out. So I think guys are really getting used to their cars and their surroundings, and are taking it. Whoa, nice job there. So I think Andrew was just trying to get as much draft as he could off that car to try to pick up some pace, because he did fall back 2.3 seconds back from Jesse. So
5 laps to go.
wow. No, not quite. How about 9?
9?
Yeah. It's not lap 20 yet.
Oh.
Yeah. That's okay. Take your shoes off and you can use your toes for counting too. I know it works like that. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
That's why I wear flip-flops in school.
What?
On math day.
What? I'm learning 3 double digits.
All right, so we got some guys going to the pits. So it looks like these 2nd and 3rd place are going to mirror each other and keep on to the pit lane. So we're going to go back to the action, because, you know, we have seen. So there is Eric as he moves up into 3rd place now, and JG also moves up as Daniel and Bjorn. So that's really the race that those guys are counting on, the race within the race between those two guys. And if, you know, one's going to pit and you're trying to catch them, you're going to go with the guy in front of you as well to keep track of them and not have to worry about in laps or out laps. So you just mirror everything else. So those guys are now exiting, so they got to splash and go, which is good to keep them going for the rest of the race. All right, there's Junie Thompson. Oh, looks like the right side of his pod there. He's having a rough day. Looks like not his normal, you know, automatic self, where he just gets in the groove and just rolls with it and ends up clean and making up spaces all day. So he's slowly come to terms with this car. I know it's a downforce car, and the setting and the setup we're using for this particular week was a high downforce. So it does take a little bit of trust in the car, because what you think you could do in some corners at a higher speed, you can't do at a slower corner, because then you react on mechanical grip, which the tires don't have. You don't have that downforce on the slower corners. And that's why you see some of the guys that are spinning out in these cars in the slower corners, because they think they can do it a lot faster as they do in the higher corners. But that's part of the trickery that comes with driving some of these LMP2 cars.
8 laps to go. I counted my toes.
Okay. How many toes did you have?
I have 10 toes altogether,
Oh,
and I'm
that's good.
I'm holding down 2.
Okay, well, 11 would be weird, you know. All right, moving on down. Good look at Jesse Olsen in the pits, also with the splash and go. Not taking tires, I don't think, for this season. A lot of these tracks, even though this track does eat up tires pretty well, especially on that left side, with so many right-hand corners all the time, loading it as this thing goes around. but they're still opting with only 6-7 laps to go after a pit fuel window right there. They're just going to keep their tires and ride it on out, because if you do take the tire change, you're adding another 30-40 seconds to your pit stop, which really doesn't equate to much when you have such a short race. The payoff or the trade-off for the time for new tires doesn't really pay off. All right, so there is John Tremblay, SEC driver, and bringing back his same livery as last week in his Huracan. He's getting faster too, which is nice. So he's definitely keeping. So here goes Zane Plumley on a dive into the first corner. Oh, he definitely wants to get through there and make up some spots. So up to 4th place for Zane Plumley is where he started at, a little bit back, but I think there's still a pit stop in his future, so he will have to go back a little bit. So Bradley went into the pits for a splash and go, and he is on the way out as well. Banana Man also went through the pits, which is why he's probably about 56 seconds back. All right, there is Eric as Andrew goes around the inside of the following corner to go through. Jesse is checked out. He is 8 seconds ahead, and Leland another 9 seconds back from Andrew. So those are the 3 podium guys, and Plumley in 4th, but 26 seconds back from Leland. So, all right, there goes Eric into the pits. And if I remember correctly from the race, he missed his opportunity to actually get into the pit lane the lap before because he was worried about traffic and missed the pit entrance. And he was coasting through here, and he didn't want to miss his pit or have to take a tow, so he actually sped through and had to get a 40-second penalty. So I'm sorry, Eric. I know, but like you said in your stream, lessons learned. So that's great. Great way to look at it. So great attitude. What you got, Lexi?
7 laps to go.
7 laps to go.
Now I have about two toes on one foot and 5 toes on the other.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm holding down 3, so actually I have 10.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you have 10, because I don't have to buy any weird shoes for you. All right. So there is Eric dropping down a little bit as he is in the pits, serving his penalty going through, and maybe Matt Jackson can move up a spot. So there goes Leland into some traffic going around the Claxon corners. Love that car. What do you think of that car, Lexi? That bright one.
That pink one?
Yeah.
It is magnificent. But do we have any other cars maybe I can challenge with?
Yeah, I'm going through the field here and seeing where everybody is. So there's Dean with his SCCA foundation. He does some league racing with, oh man, there goes Zane Plumley again on the inside. He is just taking it to everybody. He wants up there bad.
He looks like my favorite chips.
Yeah, looks like your favorite chips?
Yep, he looks like the bag with my favorite chips. It's white with that color yellow, but more to lighter.
Is it Funyuns?
What?
Oh, Funyuns are awesome.
No, I love onions.
Oh, okay.
But my favorite chips are ones that look like...
Who is that?
It's just like the trailer.
I know.
And that dog is... Scooby-Doo!
Nice job.
Really?
Yeah. So Nicholas Vincent putting on the Scooby-Doo gang livery, or what we're officially calling our trophy this year from last week, which JG Patrick said we got to keep it. We are calling it not the Lexi Livery Award for this year. We are calling it the car dress up. So he said we got to keep it. I think it's cute, so we're gonna go with that.
Okay. Anyway, this is a hard decision, so I think I'm going to choose...
Just wait a little bit.
No, I'm going to choose 2 livery awards.
You can't do it. We only have 1 trophy, which we haven't made yet, which is why you guys haven't seen the picture. So we're going to get into the garage this weekend, and we're going to make the trophy and catch
Seriously,
up. So
I can't choose. What do I do?
Yeah.
Okay, when I choose one of you guys, I will choose, so that part's a mystery. The other person keeps their car picture, so I can choose you next time.
Okay, so here is a picture of Andrew's LMP2. Oh, there's Matt Jackson with the 146.3. So it looks like his fastest lap of the race. So good job. Later in the race, he is finally coming to terms with that Audi, and every lap he turns, he's learning each week. All right, there's JG, who we just saw in the last scene, it's not a movie, last lap over there, making some passes and moving up. So he has now moved up 6 places. So he is still the big mover this week.
6 laps to go.
Yep, there's Zane Plumley with working on Banana Man, but this doesn't look, well, I don't know. He did make the pass, but, a little too wide. He is down there in the beach sunning it up. All right.
He's not going down. He didn't go down.
Yep.
But Banana Man is in 6th place and he's heading up towards the banana slide. It's a turbo boost.
Oh, wait, he's cheating with the turbo? There's not supposed to be turbos.
Well,
did you just give away his secret?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No, I mean, actually, that was imagination, Oh, Rob is out. How did that happen?
Rob is out as too. I'm not sure. Just want to, we got the CPM livery on the LMP2. Just want to give a shout out to Mark Sykes Designs. Does an amazing job for Zane Motorsports cars, as we also have like the R8 and all the other ones that are in the stable as well. So amazing. If you need some digital cars painted, please find him on Facebook on Mark Sykes Designs, livery designer. So, all right, what you got?
Can we check on Blinky?
Chris Wells is out. He never actually, yes, he hasn't done a lap yet. So he was trying to connect. So that's a bummer. All right, so back to the action. So there is Junie with still a little damage on the side pod. So we put the camera on looking for crashes and see what we're going to come up with here with 3 laps left in the race. And of course, if you want to see crashes, you definitely want to hang out on Zane Plumley's car, because Lord knows he goes off every single time in every single race. All right, there is John Tremblay. And Andrew, oh wow, you would think he would run in the back of him, but Andrew was just trying to grab all the aero slipstream off of that car that he could going onto the front straight. But I'll tell you what, John got a really good run, on the 26 car. Who's that? That's Nicholas Vincent. So a really good run. So it looks like he might be closing in. Nick Vincent's moving up 3 spots. So also like to take this time and say thank you to Icon Sim Sports. They are a custom chassis sim racing builder. So if you have something you have in mind or one of their other projects, head over to iconsimsports.com and see what they have. Talk to Rob, tell him Zane sent you, and you saw him on the MSCC iRacing League, and he may cut you a little deal there. So he did build the rig that I have, which I can't show you right now, and I couldn't be happier with it, especially when you get something built just for you. It fits like a glove. So, all right, so there's Bradley. And the reason why Bradley, let's go back to that real quick. You go ahead and say something, Lexi, while I go.
10,000 points.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to take some zeros off of that thing.
Why?
That's so many. So some of you may wonder that Bradley is running the #1 on his car because as the iRacing League goes from last year, he was the overall winner from last season. So, and not only did he also win the season most points, but he also won the most amount of Lexi Livery Awards. So.
Okay. 2 laps to go. No one freak out. I'm gonna freak out.
You're freaking out.
I'm freaking out. Who's freaking out? Of course I'm freaking out. I always yell when the white flag, chicken flag.
Yep.
I always freak out. Donut party.
All right, so here comes Banana Man holding on to 6 with Leland Giddens about to lap him. Andrew making some quick work of Dean through there. So I don't see any real tight races going on. So here goes Zane right around the outside, giving John definitely some room. Didn't want to crash him. He's had such a great race. I mean, and I know Zane had a couple issues, so really no sense in trying to force something that wasn't supposed to be there. So this is not for position. Man, Leland takes that so wide, you think he's going to ride up the middle of that thing. Whoa, splitting JG right there through that corner. All right, coming down to La Claxa, which is part of the historic part instead of the real tight left that they have going on there. Oh, Michael goes off. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna blow.
If someone's watching that on their phone really quietly in the bathroom, and that just somebody in the next stall just heard that. No doubt. So hopefully everyone's got their volume down.
Why?
That was a bit much.
Sorry, I will praise it. Also, why are we talking about bathrooms?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
You need to go to the bathroom.
Because that was so loud. I know people are trying to listen quietly, and all of a sudden they could be at their desk and pretending to type, and then all of a sudden the next person over there goes, "White flag!" And it's like, what are you watching? So you never know. All right, so here's Jesse on his last lap as he's getting around. Which one of the ZPM cars is that? It's either Nicholas or Matt Jackson. Gotta start changing the color of the wheels so we can tell them apart easier without having to look for numbers.
I'm going to. Whoa. 25, 25, 26. Almost done.
Yep, closing in. He's got about 3 more corners to go. And obviously his sponsor, Podium Hunters, says it all for Jesse as he is going to make this 2 for 2 this year. Putting a 6-second gap on Andrew, and Andrew putting a 15-second gap back on Leland. But that looks about how your leaderboard is going to be. All right, so the only race, so there he goes, past the finish line.
Checker flag! Oh my goodness!
That's awesome. All right, so congratulations to Jesse. There's Andrew that goes through. Banana Man getting a little pressure from Zane Plumley coming around through the last set of corners. I don't know. Whoa, Zane Plumley's taking it out wide. Oh, a little too wide. Back in the beach again and could not pass him. He tried so hard to get through there. So Justin, let's look for Justin Hall. He is the leader of the GT3 class, and he is still out there halfway through the track as he is going to set up to go around Worth.
Hey,
right through here. Yep.
The car dress up is that car dress up?
Yep.
Car dress up award for this week's racer is, remember what I said during the race?
Which one? Which one?
Is Justin Hall with the wrench.
All right,
And very
congratulations,
awesome
Justin.
hair.
Yes, you like his hair? That's
Yeah.
a lot of product in there. All right, let's see who we still have out there. So yeah, Justin Hall was probably just in front of Jesse, so he got to turn another lap. So everyone else has finished on the finished their last lap, and there he goes, crossed the finish line, last car through, winner of the GT3 class. Congratulations, Justin, on that win for you. Must be definitely the car. All right, so what an exciting race. Loving this mixed class racing. What do you think of it, Lexi?
I don't know how to say I love it like so much in Spanish.
Oh, you could say.
Didn't ya?
You could say "Yo amo," it means you love it.
Yo amo. Yo amo.
All right, well that concludes our week number 2 race here at Barcelona with Jesse, Andrew, and Leland picking up the podiums for LMP2, and Justin, Bjorn, and Dean on the podium for GT3. I got to give a shout out to Bjorn, 2nd place. That's great. That is his highest position that he has finished in one of the MSCC races. So congratulations, Bjorn. So all right, well thank you very much everybody for tuning in. We will catch you next week at Italy. So we're gonna have to practice our Italian. Maybe we'll eat some spaghetti and have some cannolis. Yeah, sounds good. All right, well thank you again. We'll see you next week, and thank you very much.
Adios, amigos.